and Monarchs, which is coming up again in Elkader this coming Saturday. And from the far-off lands of somewhere out in the west, I think, we've got Gary Sigworth on the phone. Gary, where are you today?
Hey, good morning to you, and I'm glad you're excited about it again.
We are. So where are you hanging right now? We heard you were off on a trip.
Yeah, well, not a trip. My son got finished his classes up at South Dakota State, and so he's just starting a summer job on the Missouri River in fisheries this summer. So in the midst of moving him, I forgot all about that. I was going to be in the Corps this morning.
I actually thought it was perfect because it made me think, we talk about how important the environment, the ecology, all of the things that are going on, how important it is in our area. Of course, that stretches all across the nation and across the world. And we know that these monarchs, a lot of them have traveled many, many, many miles to get back and forth to different places. Why did you start Music in Monarchs?
That's a very good question. And we're doing it through an organization called Clayton County Conservation Awareness Network.
Okay.
Which is a nonprofit organization to kind of create more of a inspired voice about environmental awareness and land stewardship. And so, the Monarch is definitely a national, well-known national icon, and it also travels across the Midwest. So it doesn't matter if I'm in South Dakota or we call it from Texas or Iowa. It's all connected to habitat. And the reason we started it was because of the declining population. Monarchs have, their population has been declining rapidly since 1992, and so it draws attention not only to the habitat needs of the monarch butterfly, but a whole other host of pollinators, wildlife species, and everything else connected to the landscape.
Yeah, I think that's always the hardest thing is to really try to understand on a day-to-day level how important it is to have each of these species around, because they do make a difference within the greater picture.
Exactly. And, as I said, monarch is a familiar insect species to most everybody, but it's an opportunity to have an event like we're going to have at Music in Monarchs coming up this Saturday, that you can get to a much deeper questions and a much deeper education about a whole host of everything from water quality to soil health and entertaining. Because here's what you mentioned. What's unique about Music in Monarchs is that it's a neat mix of both great musicians and great music, and also great conservation education programs. I mean, just when Bob Fastbinder, the beekeeper, steps up after one of the bands, we're putting Bob Fastbinder and our other conservation speakers and programs on an equal stage, because a person like Bob Fastbinder, he's probably the most knowledgeable beekeeper in Iowa, maybe in the U.S., and to put what he knows on stage and be able to talk about, not only about a little bit about bees, but what's been happening to them on a changing landscape. It's an exciting way to do it, and it's very educational as well as very educational throughout the day.
I love it. Bob the rock star, Beekeeper Bob. This is
there
going to
you
be
go.
fun. Yes. All right, so here's who I see. John Stravers and Patsy Wellman will be there, as well as Naomi, who's just a hoot. Honeywise with Sophia Landis will be there. I see that The Last Rebel will be playing, and Dead Horses coming out of Milwaukee, all playing at Music in Monarchs. Now, again, it's coming up this Saturday. What are the hours for the event, Gary?
It actually starts at 11 with music from John Stravers and Patsy Wellman. Two local musicians will be starting at 11. And the kids' activities and programming and conservation programming will be going from 11:30 to 3, and different bands and educational things taking stage. And then all the educational stuff ends a little bit around 3 o'clock. And then the last two bands, The Last Rebel and Dead Horses, will be for the music part of it. And the fun part, too, that's where I first discovered these bands up at the Hotel Winnebago Music Festival last year. It was last year.
So you're taking notes.
Fun. And so there should be a lot of Decorah interest in these bands, and to bring them both together on stage, not only Saturday, but we're also having a Friday night kickoff on Friday, beginning at about 6:30, and we're having those bands at this in cooperation with restoration efforts of the historic Volga City Opera House. So we're having, that's the fundraising part of it. So anybody that wants to come see these bands 2 days in a row, come to the Friday event as well, because it's going to be a lot of fun.
All right, so the most important part is where can we find information on how to either get tickets for Friday night or to come on Saturday?
Simple. You can either go on our Clayton County CAN website, which is just Clayton County CAN, CAN.com, and that has all the information about a lot of other stuff as well. Or you can start out, just go on Facebook, type in Clayton County CAN, that'll come up, and you can find information there, and then there's links to go right to lots of things about not only the music, but a lot of other things that we've been working on. And the other neat part about the festival is, we can't forget it, we're giving out free milkweed plants and other pollinator species, and where else can you go to get free milkweed plants?
That's actually a really good point. And Saturday's event is free, right? I mean, there's accepting donations, but people can come over with their families.
Absolutely. It's a family event. And this is, for other programming we do throughout the year, conservation related events, programs, it is a fundraising event as well. And so we're hoping to, throughout the day, that people that come and have a great time we'll donate a little bit to the cause, because it truly is a great cause, for conservation awareness, not only in Clayton County, but really throughout Northeast Iowa and throughout Iowa.
All right, it's Gary Sigworth with Clayton County CAN and Music and Monarchs coming up this Saturday. Starts at 11 a.m. Find details at ClaytonCountyCAN.com. Of course, you can check out their Facebook page if you look up Music and Monarchs. And Gary, have a great trip with your son. We'll see you when you get back.
Hey, thanks. It was so fun being back with you guys again this year.
I love it.
Thanks, Gary.
I can't wait.
Have a good morning. It's 6:56.